This episode is sponsored by Forever Living with Emma. As the world's largest producer of aloe vera, Forever brings you the purest organically grown aloe drinks along with collagen supplements, sports nutrition, skincare and everyday wellness products. Something for everyone. For more information, contact Emma Smith on social media and quote LRP for a free sample pack of products.
Now on to the interview with the episode. We have a first for the podcast, where we have a mother and her two daughters, all who run for Sale Harriers. Please welcome Sophie, Lucy and Helen Armitage. Welcome all.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so my first question for all of you is, how did you all get into running? So we're going to start with Helen on this one.
I've always ran all my life, quite sadly, from being age 12. I always liked running. I started off doing hockey for a very short time, but then switched to running, and then it's just been something that's been in my life forever. Basically, I've never known not doing it really. So I started, then my sister started, then mum and dad and my uncle, and all the way growing up, our life was just literally going to training, cross country. So we've always been together as a family, going to races, and we'd be sat doing our revision around the outside of track meetings, going on coach trips away, and we've just never known anything different. Yeah,
and where did your athletics journey start? Did you have a running club that you started with? You've not always been with Sale, have you?
No, I was down south, so I was in Chelmsford. Ran for Chelmsford AC. So our group was, I suppose, quite a bit like our group now with Dave, where we've got a real mix of age groups. So we had I was one of the youngest at the time, so you had kids there from 11 up to my mum and dad and people who were older than that. But then it was a real mix of abilities as well, because at the time we had Keith Cullen in the group, who went on to run in 2 Olympics, and he was doing...
he was exceptional.
Ridiculous things. We had some really, really top runners as well, but we all the sessions were based on ability, and it just we'd mix them up between doing... It was mainly track-based, so I was at Chelmsford, I was doing 8s and 15s and 3000s, then went to uni, and then that was it really. I missed the first year because I missed the freshers trial, so I ended up just running on my own. In the summer I went back and tried to do a 1500 after not doing any track work for many months, and it nearly killed me. And then I switched to doing longer stuff after that really.
And you were at uni in Leeds, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And have you just had the 2 clubs, Chelmsford and Sale, or were you anywhere else in between?
Yeah, so when I moved to Manchester originally, I was training with what's his name? Stockport, Dave Turnbull.
Oh really? Right, I never knew that.
And we had young Steve Vernon in the group at the time, but I never actually joined Stockport. I just did a few sessions with them, and then moved over to Sale and been there ever since. So from 23. So a long time now.
23 years, wow. And moving on to Lucy, do you want to tell us how you got into running?
Pretty similar, to be fair. I think I've always kind of known that, my mum obviously was run all her life, and
when I was pregnant she was running.
So it was pretty much from the second I could walk, she had me doing races.
Yeah.
I think I did the toddler trot in the Trafford Centre when I was 1 or 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mum did send some pictures in, and there was a picture of you doing the Junior Great Manchester Run.
Yeah.
I think that you did that at quite a young age, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that was when I was 6 or 7, and I think that was my first race where I managed a podium, so I think I came 3rd that year.
Brilliant. So obviously we'll chat to you all more about your running in detail later, but moving on to Sophie, do you want to tell us how you got into running?
Kind of the same. Mum was basically just brought us up with running the whole life. We did try dancing, gymnastics, but I'm not very good at those. We ended up basically just running around the gymnastics hall, so we ended up just sticking to running.
You tried swimming as well, and then and I'm trying to think what else. You've done a few other bits and bobs, but they've always come back to running again.
Yeah. Okay. Right, so I did say we're going to chat to you in a bit more detail, and I've got some questions here for Sophie. So Sophie, you started running when you were around 3 years old. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. And you competed in fun runs like the Booper Mini Run. So what are your first memories of those events, and what do you remember about the feeling of running at such a young age?
I think mainly they were the social events at that age. We did a lot of them with our friends and my cousins. I I do remember like being that kid that always wanted to run around at playgrounds, but yeah, I don't think we ever really stopped. My boyfriend still gets annoyed now because we always want to go out and just walk or run. We can basically never sit still. Yeah. But I remember doing things like the mini run, and like it was always so weird when other kids would be like stopping around me, and I always used to do this thing like, oh, I just didn't like stopping. I still don't.
Yeah. And your boyfriend runs as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. He runs at Sale with our group.
Yeah. And at what age did you join Sale?
Was it about 6?
I think, because you can't join Sale till you're 6.
6, yeah.
But yeah, when I used to go training, they'd be messing around on the inside of the track, or they've always been around it. But then you couldn't, because they had such a waiting list. I think was it after?
I think I was about 7.
Yeah, I think even though I'd been there for years, she had to wait a year because there was just no spaces. So I think your dad was taking you out for a run instead while we were going training till there was a space. But I think that's the problem. A lot of the coaches, or a lot of the clubs haven't got coaches for young kids.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the time it's reliant on parents to sort of take turns and sort of.
I'm hearing this more and more now that clubs have waiting lists for their junior sections. So it's not just a case that you can join when you want to join.
Yeah, because Altrincham I think are a bit, and they're not from 6, is it 12 I think? Or?
It is a bit older, yeah. But again, they've got waiting lists now because the ratio of people who want to join to the number of coaches is always out of line. Okay, so Sophie, you spent 5 years training with Pete and Chris before moving to your current group with Dave Rogers. So what were some of the key things that you learned from those early coaches that have helped you today?
I think training with Pete and Chris, they just made training really fun. I made a lot of friends in that group. A lot of them, like, we still see them today, like Olivia and like Emma and people like that.
The whole of our old group has pretty much joined our group now. So
we still train with a lot of them.
We still meet up as well with the ones who don't run anymore, don't we see?
Yeah, brilliant. And you're now training with your mum and your sister. So how has having your family in the same training group impacted your running and your approach to the sport, would you say?
I think it's really good. It makes like a family event when we all get to train together. It does get a bit competitive when I see my mum behind me on the track, but end up pacing around park runs now instead.
I think the depressing thing was I got injured just at the time as Sophie was going up. I was rapidly coming down, so we never had that time of being able to sort of compete against each other, because suddenly you were running miles quicker than I'd ever done, and it's quite a shame really. I had my Achilles problem because we didn't really have that time of racing did we? Whereas I did with Lucy a bit, because I think Old Lee Edge was our first
It always ended
battle.
up being like a sprint finish.
She duped me a couple of times of like moaning around a race, sort of saying I can't and then I got on her shoulder and was like trying to chivvy her along a bit, and then suddenly she out sprints me at the end.
It's probably a good time to mention another one of the photos you sent in, Helen, then this one. So you sent in a picture of the 3 of you at Sutton Park, where I believe you all ran in the same relay team. So do you all want to comment on this? Maybe you first on this one, Helen?
I got moaned at beforehand, said don't lose too many places. So I think Lucy had been with you on first leg, and the team just gradually got slower to me coming in at the end, but. Yeah.
But that must have been great being in a relay team together, the 3 of you.
I think
funny.
The strangest one I think was stood on the start line of the Mackle, from going along where there've been like little kids in their races and me doing the senior ones, or you not them wanting to do it but ever. So me just doing the seniors and them coming along later on, or to suddenly all 3 of us stood on the start line of the senior races is. I don't know, it just feels...
It was really weird.
Yeah, it's a bit emotional on the first one, I think. Now because my sister runs for Bramall as well.
Oh, wow.
So she's stood there with us as well, but I think we're going to be really close this season, which is, adds to a bit more to the rivalry.
Speaking of rivalry, one thing that we haven't done for this episode, we didn't put your PBs up there. So do you want to run through your PBs quickly if you remember them? Like 10k, if you've done them?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. But.
Like track PBs as well?
Yeah.
So my main distance is probably 800, well, definitely 800. I've run 2 flat for 800, and then 5k is 16:20.
I've done 18:36 for 5k, and then did Altrincham 10k yesterday and ran 40:49.
Oh, well done.
I can't remember. It was my 18. think it's 44 for 5k and 38.39 for 10k, and then 3:08 for the marathon.
Which marathon did you do? We'll probably get to that anyway. But
Yeah, Manchester is my first one,
Yeah.
and then London is my second one.
cool.
Okay, moving back to Sophie's questions. So you mentioned that your best season so far included running in the senior women's Manchester Cross Country League races, and you were coming in the top 15 in those races. So what was it like stepping up to compete at senior level, and how has that experience helped you develop as an athlete?
I think cross countries, I much prefer it to track, but I think when you're in like the under 17s and under 15s, it's just completely different. It just feels very like you're running on your own for a lot of it, whereas the seniors, like you're on the start line with hundreds of people, and it just feels like you're running with a lot more, and it feels like you're more involved. Obviously, like we train with a lot of the other adults, so I think it's a lot nicer running with the seniors, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a step up when you're going from like a 4k cross country to an 8k.
I was just going to ask, how have you found the step up in distance?
Yeah, the first one was a bit of a shock, but
Yeah.
especially being Heaton Parks, I've always hated the course. But I think you get used to it, and in some ways it's kind of better because it's not as quick at the start when it's like 3k, everyone just sprints off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was when you're doing the younger ones as well, they're running with the boys.
Yeah.
So you've got, and it splits into two races straight away, because you've got the older lads just steaming off straight away at the start. But then we've always said as well, like with the trying to get the equalisation of distances,
Yeah.
for their age group, that's miles more scary if you suddenly jump to doing a 10k cross country from, I think you'd have, there's lots of girls drop off anyway, don't they, because they don't even want to go to 8k, so if
some of
suddenly...
them are 9k now, aren't they?
Yeah, so suddenly if you had them jumping up to doing massive distances, you'd have loads of drop off, I think.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Lucy's doing incredibly well in the Manchester Leagues. I think you've won some of them, haven't you?
You've
Don't
You've certainly been in the top three many times.
Yeah. I came like second
Yeah,
there.
but normally an 800 metre specialist would find a step up from junior to senior distances quite a lot. Do you want to have your own input on this? Because I see it's not in your questions.
I think because we have, like, with Dave's group, he's always kept like a good endurance base. So across all distances, we've never really struggled switching from like track straight to like cross.
We do a lot of tempo runs, road sessions.
I think for an 800 metre run around,
Your mileage is quite high.
Yeah,
I was going to say, before we started recording, you mentioned you're on pretty decent mileage as well, so that will help. Yeah.
I think your first England vest was cross country as well, not track.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how. I'm not a fan of cross country.
Moving back to Sophie. So you ran your 5k PB in the same race your sister ran for England. So what was that experience like, and how does your relationship with your sister inspire your own running?
That race was actually meant to be an open race, but then we got there and they ended up merging them with the England races.
Oh wow.
You're on the other start line.
I was a bit scared on start line, but it was a good experience. We like running together quite a lot. It makes it a lot more enjoyable.
You do a lot of your training runs together then?
We do,
Yeah, it makes it a lot more enjoyable, I think.
Yeah. Where was that race, that 5k?
I was in Cardiff.
In Cardiff, yeah. And with your background in middle distance and now stepping up to senior races, what are your current running goals, and what do you feel are the next steps for you to take?
I think this cross country season, I definitely want to focus on that, because I just don't really think the track's for me. But hopefully improve my 5k and 10k over the next year as well, because I think I definitely prefer longer distances.
Yeah. Any specific goals for the cross country season?
Dave keeps trying to get me to like get higher up in the macros and everything, but maybe just get in the county team again. I got in big schools last year, but that was my last year, so I can't get in again. Yeah,
brilliant. Okay, right, that's all my questions. I'm now going to hand over to Callum, who's got some questions for Lucy.
Cheers, Dave. Welcome. So, Lucy, your mum inspired you to start running at a very young age. What's one of the earliest memories that you've got of watching your mum run that made you want to follow in her footsteps?
I think from being really little, I've always seen my mum be at like the front of most races. It was like when we watched...
Not anymore.
I always remember there was this race in, I think it was down south somewhere, I can't remember what one it was, but I remember she won it by quite a way, and I remember thinking I really want to like kind of follow her, like so, and I think from watching, because you always got me watching the Olympics as well, it was the 2012 Olympics. I remember watching, I think it was Jess Ennis, and it just made me feel really inspired to kind of do the same.
Oh, cool. Do you remember the race, Helen, that she's talking about?
I can't remember. It was
Yes, I sort of run second claim for a club down south as well.
It might have been for Whittam.
For Whittam,
Yeah, it's the Whittam one.
Cool. So you had your first breakthrough in 2022.
Yeah.
What changed in your training or mindset that season that led to such a significant improvement?
So throughout like the whole of lockdown, I just started running a lot more, and I think when it got to 2022, I think that was definitely the turning point, because I started racing more, and it got to track season, and I think it was my first English scores that I'd ever made. I think I took 8 seconds off my 800 that year, and I moved groups that year as well. So I think Dave definitely helped me like with my training, because my training just completely switched from that moment, really.
I think she went from not having the qualifying times in any events for English schools, and suddenly
coming in the back of
and I booked to go to Dublin the weekend of English schools, thinking there's no way she's going to be there because she was way off everything. Suddenly she got the 815 and the 3000 qualifying times, and then I think you ended up doing the 8, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I ended up being in Dublin for the when she made it to the final of the English schools, because it'd already been booked. It's just because it was just such a massive jump, wasn't it? You just had all of a sudden, then it's just carried on from there. Just every race seems to be taking chunks off everything.
Yeah, I think also the switching groups, I went from training, I mean, I love my all group so much, and I think without them I wouldn't be running now, but I went from training with like quite young kids to suddenly training with adults, and it just helped so much, because I went from being like miles off the front of the group to suddenly being kind of mid-pack with the guys, and I just got dragged round each session, and it just brought me on so much. And I don't think I would have been like progressing as much as I have without them. And with Dave as well.
I think we've mentioned quite a lot actually, training within a group. We get some people that train on their own, but then people that train in the group do see them big improvements. Like something that I wish I could start doing more of is going down to track and running with people more. So
I think the social side of it is just so important.
It does make it more enjoyable.
In that you feel guilty if you don't go, because you feel like you've got FOMO if you start looking on Strava and you see everyone's done a session. And
our group's quite close as well, the girls in our group.
The one thing I will say is though, I think I'm one of the only 800 metre runners in the group, so everyone else in the group is like 5k to marathon. So most of the sessions I'll be kind of doing it by myself, but you still have like the whole thing of warming up and down with the group, and you're always like, they're always cheering me on as I'm like dying on a lactic session.
It's knowing people are there sometimes. Yeah, we've said that now to road, haven't we, Sean? Last week we were both there, weren't we? And even though Sean's miles ahead of me, it's just knowing that someone's there.
Yeah.
The whole, everyone thinks running is just an individual sport, but it's such a big, because like the girls have always come along. We've always had like training weekends with Sale, and like they've seen the other side to the sport where you have social things, and like I suppose all my friends are pretty much runners, I guess, and like now you've got friends all in other clubs, and you've through social media you've got friends all across the country as well, and I think that whole social thing, the community of running, just makes it so much more enjoyable, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You mentioned before, Helen, that you took them down to the track when they were younger. I wish I did that with my kids, but there's not a chance that they'd stay there.
Well, it's more the thing. They didn't want to race when they were younger at all.
We liked training, but we
they
hated racing.
They loved, because Pete and Chris's group, they were brilliant, because they're so lovely with them. They put so much time into
it. Was like a family, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they've never, so when for years they didn't want to race, so I just never ever made them race. So we had years, if you look on their Power 10s, they did
park runs a lot.
You did the odd park runs, isn't it? And you gradually did more of them, but I never got them to race, because you can't force somebody to run.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big thing, I think, with kids as well, is like get them to do it in their own time.
I don't think you enjoy it, and
well,
you won't put your best effort in if you're not liking it.
No, and you nag me to run now more than the other way around. So
it's a good nag to have, that, Helen.
Yeah.
So Lucy, making your first GB team is a dream for many. Can you describe the moment you found out and what it felt like to put the vest on for the first time?
So it was weird, because I remember I got the call and I was kind of in disbelief. Like, I didn't really process it. And I think I asked, it was Hayley Hemmings, so I knew her anyway, but when she told me, I said, "Are you sure?" I didn't really believe that it was real, but it was just such an amazing experience, and I still can't believe it's even happened now.
So was it a qualifier for, did you have to run a certain race and then you got the call, and then what was the race?
So it was, you had to run sub 2:06, I think, and I'd ran 2:05 twice, and then it was 2:04 the week after. 2:03. But even though I think there was only 2 girls ahead of me, I still didn't think I'd got picked, and yeah, it was just a bit of a shock, really.
And that's for the 800 metre?
Yeah. It's really
so you've recently made the decision to focus solely on the 800 metres. What was the thinking behind this, and what do you love about that specific distance, if you can love 800 metres?
It's just my favourite event, believe it or not. Yeah, no, I just really enjoy it, and I think I love the fact that it's over and done with really quick, and you don't really have to think, you just run. Whereas the 15, my coach even now thinks that's my strongest event, because I've got the endurance from the 5k and the cross, and the speed from the 8. But I think with the 15, it's one of those things where you can overthink it sometimes, and you end up getting boxed in, panicking, and then it's more tactical. Whereas the 800, I get out hard, and I just try and hold it and kick as much as I can. And I like the fact you don't have to think about it.
So you mentioned before as well that you went, 2:05 twice, and then 2:03, and then you recently ran 2 minutes dead. What race was that in, and can you, obviously that's quite a big goal to get so close to that sub 2. Can you describe what went through and what the race was? Because it was all over socials, we all saw it.
It was the BMC at Trafford. I think going into it, I sort of knew I was in 2 flat shape, because I'd done a few sessions where I think we did 3 split 800s. It was 400, 30 seconds, 200, 30 seconds, 200. And I did 3 of them in 1:59 to 2 flat. And I knew if I could just get it right in a race, it could possibly be realistic. But yeah, I just had to put it into a race, and that day it just all came into plan. The weather was perfect, and I think the way the race was run as well, I knew it was going through in a 58, so I just decided...
You said don't go with the pace.
Stick to the paces I was doing in that session, like the split 8s, and it could work. And I just kept the exact pace I did, and yeah.
I think it's hard in an 8 if you go through even just that 1 or 2 seconds.
Because I've done it before.
Different.
Where
you
can,
you blew up.
So when you say going through in 58, that's doing the 400 in 58 and then trying to
carry it on.
It's that famous Kelly Holmes Olympic gold where I think she was last at the bell and she ended up winning the Olympic gold.
Well, I find now it works better if I go through in 60 and then just try and hold it.
The BMCA races, they seem to pace them for 58, 59. And it's like, I just would not go with that pace. It's just suicide, which you found out in the first BMC of the season.
Next season, though, I'm going to try and work on that first lap to try and get it down a bit.
Yeah, I think the BMC race that she ended up doing, the 2 flat, my friend who I used to run with at Chelmsford, her daughter, Kai Malanga, was like the other girl she's racing with down the home straight. So it's really strange that we've gone from like me and Sally running together for years and years to suddenly then our daughters now racing each other.
So your goal is to break 2 minutes in the 800 metres and make the 2026 Commonwealth Games team. So what does a typical training week look like for you, and what will you start to work towards for them goals?
So at the moment I normally do S&C on Mondays, and I normally do like a double run on the Tuesday morning before a session, and then it's normally, I think Tuesdays are normally lactic sessions in the summer, so it's normally split 8s or split Ks, and then easy to steady Wednesday, and then track session again Thursday, either a rest or a easy run on Friday. Saturdays probably we normally
You
do like
sometimes do a
tempos or
session,
sessions,
yeah.
and then Sunday long run. But
Or
I
use part run sometimes as well, don't you, for doing tempos?
I always try and keep my Sunday long run even through summer, just to keep the endurance up though. But I think definitely need to work my S&C because I don't really do enough of it at the moment.
That's every runner, I think.
Yeah.
So we mentioned you mentioned your 5k PB before, and you got that in the same race as when Sophie ran, and you ran for England. What was it like sharing that race with Sophie, and how do you support each other on both of your goals?
It was really nice, to be fair, because like she said, she wasn't meant to be in the race, so it's a bit of a shock when I turned around and I saw her next to me. But yeah, she did really well, and it was just good that we could do that race together because we both, I think, it was just really nice.
You got another 5k PB, didn't you, last weekend?
Yeah.
So she's broke it again.
It's the same course, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same
road.
course as that as well.
Oh yeah, it was Cardiff again.
Cardiff, yeah.
Last week.
And what time was that? 16?
We've not heard the official
No,
result,
it's they're
but
out now. This 16:20.
16:20, I think. But that was for Nike, so it's really fun.
Oh, brilliant. That's all my questions for you, so I'm going to pass over to Katie.
Thank you very much, Callum. And my questions are for Helen.
Yep.
Okie doke. So you've had a long and varied running career, from being a county champion at 17 to a Vet 50 runner today. So what's one of your fondest memories from your early days as a county champion, and how has your running approach changed over the years?
I think just my early memories, it was just great being with my family all the time and spending time with my sister and all my friends going to races. And I think just my memories of running were all around the social side of it, because we did have quite a serious group. We trained Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. Probably when I look back now, I think I've had a bit of a missed opportunity, because when I look at what these are doing now and how focused they are, and I look at my 20s, it was more, I was just going I never really had much of a plan as much.
Yeah.
Whereas these have got like more definite.
Well, we don't drink at all. You were going out
Yeah.
all the time.
Bit of a culture change as well.
Yeah, that was probably.
Threw you under the bus there. Right?
Yeah, that was a lot of the uni years.
And you mentioned before about going to Leeds Uni and running there. So I believe that you were part of DOS AC, is that right? And winning a bronze medal at Bussa, is it?
Yeah,
Bussa.
yeah, it's changed its names a few times, I
Yeah.
think, over the years, hasn't it?
Tell us a bit about that, and I believe you won this bronze medal. So tell us a little
Yeah,
bit
so
about
it's
that.
now British Universities, what is it now?
Bucks.
I don't even know what it stands for now. But it used to be Boozer when I was,
British University's College and Colleges Sports or something.
Sports Association or something. Yeah. So we went up to Edinburgh and we did the track one. I did the 10,000 metres on the track. So I've done 2 of them now. I probably wouldn't do another one, I don't think, but yeah, so I've got a bronze medal in that.
Brilliant.
So it's probably up there as one of my best achievements, I think. So DOS AC is like the spin-off, I guess, the drinking part of Leeds University Cross Country Club. So yeah, Leeds Uni was brilliant. Every weekend you were going off to a different university doing like so I came over to Manchester, did the Manchester relays. We'd go up to Edinburgh. It used to be a brilliant weekend, and every weekend you'd go around the country. So I've still got friends at went to different universities that I've met over the years.
Oh, brilliant. And you mentioned that you trained with a young Steve Vernon and a previous guest Belinda Brennan in Manchester. So what was that experience like, and did you ever imagine that running would remain such a significant part of your life?
It's sort of funny to see now how Steve's come on since I've sort of met him years and years ago, when it was before he went off to uni. And it's only I realised I'd recognised Belinda years and years later when it suddenly dawned on me who she was, and I'd actually done a couple of sessions with her when we were younger. So it's funny how people sort of keep popping up over the years that you've sort of known for a long time.
Previous guest as well, shoeholic.
Yeah, and it's clear from what you said that you didn't push the girls into running, but what were some of your kind of key strategies to keep running fun and voluntary, I guess, in their lives, especially after they showed a natural kind of aptitude for it?
I think it's just, you've always just been around it, haven't you? And it's just never, when they've not wanted to do race, because even up to like Lucy being an under 15, she was still non-scoring for Sale Harriers, even in the 800, because she just wasn't good enough at the time. You didn't want to do it, really.
Lazy. I didn't train.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah, you'd go training, but there wasn't, you just wanted to have it fun,
Yeah.
isn't it? And I thought, I'm not pushing them.
Whereas now you struggle to get me not to train.
Yeah. So you see so many parents stood on the lines at races, screaming, shouting at the kids, and like forcing them. You can see kids crying, being dragged around park runs, and you think there's just no point at all. Cause
they're the ones that don't stay in the sport.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, it shows then, doesn't it?
And putting so much pressure on them as well. And
I don't think you ever really put pressure on us, and Pete and Chris always just made it fun.
Yeah.
There was never like loads of pressure in training. It was always just making like a social thing as well.
Yeah. That's what the kind of coaches like Duncan that we've had on have said, haven't they, about like young people. It's all, when you're young, it's just about making it fun.
You see loads of kids doing real hard sessions when they're young, and you're just going to end up injured as well. And I think just having a bit of a balance as well between, and that when they've had exams and stuff, I've never said you've got to carry on training, but you've wanted to, because I found for myself, like when I was at uni, I found being able to just go out for a run and you take the pressure off. And like this year, you sort of were concerned about your performances weren't being as good, but then you look at it and think, well, yeah, you're going through exams and you've got loads of other things on, and it's good that you've got that bit of a break from mentally, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned that you ran the Manchester Marathon in 2017, and when you did that, you qualified for an England Masters best, but you decided not to take it. So what was the thinking behind that decision at the time?
Not wanting to train for 2 marathons in a year, and I guess as well because I've trained for it at the start of the year. I think the actual representation race was Chester later on, so it'd mean, I think we had a holiday booked to Ibiza at the time, and it's like, I really don't want to be going somewhere hot having to go out doing 20-mile runs, and so I decided not to do it. So it would have been my first chance to get an England best, but decided not to do it. And whereas the ones I've done since have just been 5Ks, so
you've got an England Masters best in the 5K.
Yeah, so both my other 2 have been 5Ks, so Tenby and Shrewsbury were 5K ones.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I think for marathons, I absolutely loved the ones I've done, and I loved Manchester.
Yeah.
And after Manchester, I thought, right, I'm not doing another one because I enjoyed it so much. I negative splitted it. I was like grinning all the way around and finished really strong. And then I thought, right, I'm not going to do another one just in case. I'd never have that. I don't want to have the hitting the wall thing. But then I thought, well, I've qualified for a championship place for London, and then I got injured again, Achilles. So I ended up deferring to the next year in 2019. So it was lucky just before COVID. But then Achilles problem, and then suddenly I did it on like 12, 13 weeks training. So I went into it with no expectations at all, just ran it, loved it again. Ended up with a 3:15, God knows how, just running around talking to somebody all the way around.
Best way sometimes.
Yeah, loved it, but then it's like, now I'm thinking, do I want to go through that again? So I have entered Manchester a couple of times since, and then got injured again. So now I thought, right, I'm just saving my money.
So you've just done the 2 marathons?
Yeah,
Manchester
so I'd paid to do Manchester a couple of years ago, and then I'd started building up, getting my mileage up, and then Achilles problem again. So I thought, right, I'm just not going to bother again.
Does it put you off marathon running, girls?
A bit,
I think it's just written off after the marathon as well.
It's hard work, isn't it?
It writes my season off. I never seem to get back to, up until then I was getting PBs in like 10Ks and everything up to the marathon, and then afterwards I just had a massive drop off again. But it's probably something I'm not doing right, or I don't know.
No, just take it out if you done it. I've always just done 1 a year. I've done like London in the April, but since I'm doing Berlin this year, and I felt like I just couldn't get back to like training. So I've done the shortest block I've ever done for Berlin this time, because I don't know how people do more than 1 marathon, because it literally takes it out if you done it.
I think with the 2 I've done, I've actually followed a proper training plan as well, and I built into it, and because I think where I had a goal in mind, whereas I've been a bit lazy ever since, I think, because I've been concentrating sort of on the girls, and work's got in the way and everything. I've just sort of been running as and when I can fit things in. And
do you 2 kind of have any desire to do any like longer distance stuff or?
No, I think I'm going to try and stick with the 8 for as long as I can, really.
Yeah.
I do like longer stuff. London does look really good, and I know my auntie did it, was it last year?
Yeah.
And she's been saying, at the end of it's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem fun to do, but I think just the training just looks a lot.
It is,
Yeah, we have said it would be fun to do like a half together and just run around just to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I have done quite a few races where I've just literally entered it and just run round and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But then you feel like there's pressure on you all the time. People are, have you seen how so-and-so did? And like people looking at the results.
Done a certain time.
Yeah, and I think sometimes like fell race, because I'm rubbish at fell running, but I do like doing the odd one where you just run round and just enjoy it, look at the scenery.
That's why I think parkrun's good.
Yeah.
Because I use parkruns as sessions a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's good because you get the thing of racing without the
pressure.
nerves. And because I get so nervous before I race.
You?
Like, literally, no matter what the race is, I'll be there on the line terrified. Because, and I think you can race all you want, but you never get used to the nerves properly, do you? Yeah.
We spoke about that quite recently.
With Catherine Fitzpatrick, I don't know if you listened to that episode, but she was saying she feels a lot less pressure at cross country because it's not about times and splits and pace.
Yeah, so many different variables, and it depends on the weather, the conditions.
I think that's where parkruns are good, because you've got so many completely different courses.
We love just doing parkrun tourism, don't we?
Yeah, because we do quite a lot of tourism. So to the point of on a Friday night, think we'll drive somewhere, book a hotel, and then
that's nice.
do a random parkrun the next day. But you can't compare times at all, because like we did. I'm trying to think what I did this weekend. So I went somewhere near Chorley, out that way. But it was a completely different course to what I've done. It was like a bit on path, bit through woods, bit on trail. So you can't compare that to like a Stretford.
Yeah.
So it takes
no one asks you though, do they? Like for a part, what time did you do?
No.
You know, like in a race, it's always what's for 5k? What did you do? When it's a race, but like parkrun, like say, it's no one's bothered, are they? It's less. It does seem less pressure, doesn't it?
Whereas with the 8, if you mess up even a second, it's like the difference of like a 2 flat to a 159, isn't it? So.
Yeah. I always find it funny when you do tourism and you bump into random people miles away from, because is it Sam?
I did one in Wales the other day.
Yeah, you did Conway. There was loads of people from Sale were randomly there, weren't they? And then there's a girl from Bramall was at the one I did this weekend. We stood on the start line and you suddenly realise there's someone you recognise. So.
Yeah, just picking up on that, Lucy, how do you cope with those nerves then? Given, I guess, that the pressure's probably feeling a bit more intense, how do you deal with that?
I've got a lot better with it this season, I think, compared to last season especially.
Less caffeine.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Give up caffeine?
I used to take too much caffeine before I raced, and it used to make me really shaky.
Oh, really?
No, this season I always put in my headphones for my warm-up, and I try and think of a song when I'm running.
Oh, right.
And on the start line, I'll try and breathe a certain way so it kind of relaxes me. Yeah. And as soon as that gun goes off, I just think of that song in my head and just run.
Sing it to yourself.
Yeah, basically.
Cool. Oh, that's good. And then do you feel kind of relaxed afterwards? Do you?
When the race is over, you feel a bit more relieved, to be fair.
At least a nightmare beforehand for coming up with every negative thought possible under the sun.
Get yourself quite worked up then.
Yeah,
she's panicking about literally
I'm only shouting at us in the car for being late.
So she has to be like there hours before the event.
I prefer it though. If I'm at the event like hours before, I can just kind of like relax and just.
That's another thing Catherine was saying. Takes the nerves away.
It's a bit of a control thing, I suppose, isn't it? That you feel a bit more in control because you're there.
I found also, I think you've had Flycarb, the team from Fly. They've helped so much this season as well. Like they're so lovely, and they've so they sent me a few of their products to try over the summer. And I found having that in my mind that I took the Flycarb, that's helped as well.
Brilliant.
Just for even you don't know if it's actually doing anything.
Logically. I noticed you've been using that.
Yeah.
How have you found taking it though?
Oh, I mean, it doesn't taste the best, but
you're being very polite there.
But
didn't you have it before the National Day? Was it?
Yeah.
God, never again.
A few hours.
Yeah, was it hours before?
You took it wrong, didn't you? Yeah, you had it.
Yeah, I think the whole thing of it, I think it's good to support them as well. Like, they're such lovely guys, and I think a lot of people, like most track runners, have started taking it this season, and just having it in your mind that you've took it.
Absolutely.
That last 100 metres, even if it is just placebo, which I don't think it is.
Yeah,
but
you
even
think it
if
does make a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's so much of running is mental as
It
well,
is,
isn't it?
yeah.
And I think so I was listening to a podcast where the psychologist was on there saying about when you think you've completely drained all your energy reserves, they've done some experiments and stuff where they've found you've still got 30% of your capacity still in your body.
Yeah.
So I think that was what I'd said to Lucy before the Stretford race. Like I said, when you think you're absolutely dead, still think you've got 30% left.
Well, that's what happened when I ran my 2 flat. I thought of my mum saying about the 30%, and that last 100 metres, I was like, right, you need to kick now.
Still got
So they're saying about the Brownlees have found a way of dipping into their last 30. People can't generally get into their energy reserves that you've got left, where they've done experiments on them where they've found that they can actually get into that.
Yeah, I've seen marathon runners do it with where they swig and spit out a carb drink to trick the mind into thinking
that you've had the
cup.
Yeah.
So your body releases that extra energy because it thinks, oh, we're all right because we've got energy coming in.
Yeah.
So it's obviously keeping that back and then letting it out when the brain thinks that carbs are coming.
Yeah, it's all these weird tricks you can do.
The mind is such a powerful thing, isn't it? Have any of you had any kind of like psychological training alongside the physical?
Not really. I mean, I don't know if this really counts, but before every single session or race, something I've done differently to last year is I'll have like an Epsom salt bath,
Right.
and then I'll do Normatec boots for like an hour before a session.
You'll do what?
Like, do you know the Normatec boots, the compression boots?
Oh yeah, we were talking about them earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, so I do that before every session and race.
Right.
And I think like 3 hours before a session, I'll make the whole day about just recovering. And yeah,
this is when you're a student and not with many lectures as well, so you can the day can revolve.
It's paid off though. So
Yeah. Do you two suffer with like your nerves before a race at all, or
I'm terrible.
more relaxed?
Yeah. I think I always have been, but then you start thinking, why am I doing this to myself? But then afterwards you sort of, you're glad you do it most of the time.
I think Brian really helps with that though, the nerves. Our other coach Brian, he helps with the mental side of running, and we found like before every single race
he calms you down.
He'll come up to us and he'll just
gives you a bit of a pep talk and
that's good. Helen, just going back then to the England Masters, have you got any plans to get any more Masters vests? Or?
I'd like to think so. It's one of those. For now it's just trying to keep going as long as I can, and if I get an England Masters vest along the way, I think. But the standard has gone so much higher over the last couple of years. I don't know what's going on, but it's when you look at times from years ago of what people were getting at the same age. I don't know if it's the shoes or training or what it is, but it's
fly carbs and compression boots.
Yeah. It must do something though, mustn't it? Like the times are improving so much.
Absolutely.
Like this time last year, literally no one had run the times they have this year, and it's just changed completely, isn't it? Because even for Europeans this year, I think the standard was a 203 or sub 203, and they only took one girl. But in the past, I think you could run around 204 and they'd still get you in the team because the standards have just went lower and lower. Which is a bit annoying.
It's definitely things are advancing. How it's got to be. We didn't ask about shoes. What's your go-to shoes for the three of you?
I normally ride the Asics Meta Speed quite a lot for like 5Ks.
Yeah, we've got a shoe room.
Can you imagine?
So
no, you have a shoe room.
Well,
quite bad.
It's not on Belinda's scale, I don't think.
No, it's probably worse.
The three of you combined is the same as Belinda.
She's probably got around 100 shoes.
Lucy keeps getting loads of free shoes now as well at the moment, so
Are you all the same size? Handy.
Well, we were for a while, which was horrendous because they kept nicking my shoes and trashing them, and then now they're bigger. It's just
that's a pain. So you don't get free shoes, though.
No, so
I got the free ones from Lucy.
No, I still like my old Vapors. And even though I've bought new Vapors since, I still don't think they're quite as good as my original ones that I had, which are probably ruined now. But and I've started now because I only do one track session a week now because I think if I try and do more than that, I get injured. So I think I've had to change what I train over the years, I think. So
Yeah.
on the track now, I'll try and wear vapor flies if I'm doing a track session, just to stop the impact, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas I think some of the group wear spikes, but I wouldn't want to risk it.
What's your go-to then, Lucy, for shoe-wise?
I always try and wear like either nylon or carbon plated. So I've switched around over the summer. I think it was Pro 4s, but I felt like they were probably a bit more of a race shoe.
Right.
Is that Adidas Pro 4? Sorry, or
yeah.
Saucony? Yeah, Adidas.
Yeah, I really love them, but yeah, they're probably more of a race shoe than training.
Are they what you choose to race in then?
No, I race in. I've got a lot of carbons. I race in the Alpha Flies, which a lot of people don't really like, but I much prefer them to the Vapor Flies.
Because you like them for 5Ks, whereas I
Yeah.
find them.
Sean's an
I've
Alpha
worn them a
Fly.
couple of times, but I
Yeah.
find them quite clumpy.
Yeah, no, I
They're
really
quite a
like
high
them.
stack, aren't they?
That's
And then
what
if
I
you've
like
got
about them.
if
yeah.
you've got quite a sharp turn,
Yeah,
it can be a little touch and go. I've found.
I'm racing a road mile in like 2 weeks' time, and I'm considering even wearing the Alpha Flies still, even though it's meant for marathons. But
So the Alpha 3s?
yeah.
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 See, I'm not sure. I still prefer the Alpha 1s, I think.
I've not tried them. They're
Oh,
meant
have
to
you
be
not?
really good though.
Yeah.
You didn't like the vapors at all, did you?
No, I don't know, I just can't wear them. I feel like my foot just goes over completely in
Yeah.
them.
On the Vapor 3s.
Just all of them that I've tried. So I had the Hoka ones for a while, and then I've moved to the Asics ones, but they seem to be quite
They
good.
suit
But
you.
The
Yeah.
Vapor
I train a
Fly
lot in
ones are good.
Asics.
They're really
Yeah,
good.
they
You like the
nice.
Metaspeed, don't you?
Yeah.
This is great chat.
It is
In
great
there.
chatting, so we love chatting shoes, don't we? Okay, but back to Helen. So you've recently joined Mountain Runners, because you said they're a group just to run with. As someone who's been in the sport for so long, you value having that no-pressure running group alongside your competitive training. So tell us a little bit about Mountain Runners.
Yeah, so it's one of the run clubs that have sprung up. There seems to be absolutely loads of them now. It's just because I can't do 2 sessions a week.
Yeah.
I just wanted a group where I could just go for a run and there's no pressure. And they train on a Monday and a Thursday from Malt Dog in Monton, and they all meet there, or in the summer they sort of meet at the end of the loop line. They publish what the routes are before the sessions, and you decide what group you're going in, and you can either do a faster run if you want, or you can do an easy pace. It's just a good group to go with, and I think we did one with the Stretford Run Club as well, didn't we? One week when we were at the gym and we saw a group of people and we were going to go for a run.
They were really nice though.
Yeah, and I think run clubs have been brilliant
Yeah.
for just getting people running, because at Monton there's people who've just starting out and they've got literally all abilities there, and they've got a walking group as well that sometimes go out on the weekends. And
It tends to be a nice social as well. There's always coffee at the end and they've run clubs.
well, they go to a bar
Or a
afterwards.
bar,
They
yeah.
say Malt Dog's beer.
One or the other, yeah. But yeah, they tend to be quite social, don't they? And that's what I guess the other side of running is, isn't it? Around.
Yeah, and I think they're not affiliated clubs. It's
Yeah.
actually they have started doing a track session on a Wednesday, but it's not like a serious group, whereas like when training on Tuesdays is more serious, I guess, in terms of like proper organised sessions and reps and things. It's just nice to go and just enjoy running again.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I've always just tried to keep, where we've always said it needs to be fun to keep you motivated.
Absolutely.
And as soon as you start, when it becomes a chore, I think that's the thing with like when you're training for a marathon or something, it becomes I've got to go for a run and that you don't want it to be I've got to go. You should feel lucky that you're able to go, because when you're injured, you're kicking yourself that you can't run. So
and it's questions that aren't here, but just it's coming up to cross country season, so will we see you on the start line of cross country?
yeah, if I'm not injured again. No, at the moment, touch wood, I'm planning on doing the Mackles again.
Fab. And you'll be there, Sophie?
Yeah.
Lucy, you saying no?
Probably not the Mackles,
No. You're not a fan of cross country, did you say?
I don't. It's not my favourite.
But
I
concentrate
know.
on track.
I know
do
I have
Liverpool,
to do
won't
it,
you?
like some of it for the endurance side, just to build that base. And I think this year will probably be a bit different in the sense I'll probably have to do a bit more indoors. So British champs, and I've got books this year as well. So I'm going to structure it a little bit better this year, I guess.
I think it's a decision as well for Liverpool, is it?
Yeah,
Do you go for the short course or...
Yeah, or go for the under 23 course.
But that's a Mackle as well this year.
Yeah, because the Mackle's going to be at, as part of the Euro
doing one Mackle
trials.
Full course.
Is it going to be, do you know, are they running it with the White Rose League or Red Rose League?
Mid-Lancs League, I think it is. I believe they are, yes.
So it's going to be a really busy one because it's going to be
It'll be
Euro trials
very
with Mid-Lancs and Mackle all in the same event.
I always say though, the Liverpool course is the worst.
It's the muddiest course, I think.
The worst competition you've ever done last year.
You can be as fit as you want, but as soon as you get to that course, it's just, it doesn't even matter. I remember
It's probably not as bad as Parliament Hill though.
No.
I enjoyed that.
I really thought last year I had a shot of making the team, and then as soon as it got to Liverpool, it was just...
They need to see mile pits, Kate.
Oh yeah, you've never done mile pits.
No.
Oh, you'll love it. I ended
It's
up
like a
flat on my
swamp.
face. Yeah, you can't run. People are like looking for the shoes, aren't they? In the mud,
no.
carrying one shoe.
It's not even running, is it?
It's not running. No, you're just sliding. It's funny.
That's why road relays and like road races are like a good in between though, because it's like, it's not track but it's not cross.
Yeah.
Those Mansfield relays are really good as well.
Yeah.
I really like those.
Yeah.
Are you doing the road relays this weekend?
Is that the North West Road
Yeah.
Relays? No,
I've got
Not
a
doing
team
them.
in that.
I'm in Turkey.
Don't blame you then. Oh, well, that's all my questions. Thank you. So I'm going to hand over to Sean. He's got some questions for all of you.
Yeah,
We've
so
answered
I
them
need the
already.
mic because no one can ever hear me. That's fine. So yeah, I've got questions for all three. Yeah. So your running journey is is obviously a family affair, or a family tradition. What's the most challenging part about sharing the highs and lows of training and racing with each other? Would you say, Luce? We'll start with you. So, for example, like in my house, like there's two of us that run, and one of us gets injured.
Oh, that's the worst
That's a
thing.
nightmare.
Yeah, poor Claire at the minute.
I know, yeah.
No conversation then, is there?
How does it help or hinder when you're all runners? Would you say?
I think it all helps that like we all run,
Yeah.
and we can all relate if like one of us has a bad race. Like if I have a bad race and Soph says to me, "Oh, you ran really well,"
Yeah.
she knows not to say that. But
Which is the default answer for someone who's not a runner.
Yeah. But yeah, we all really support each other. Like because we all have complete different goals. I think it's good that we all understand like everything, really, don't we? So
I think it's good when when you've got to go on a run sometimes, you've always got someone to run with.
yeah.
I know like when we go on holiday we run quite a bit, and it's nice to know that you're not going to be running like alone, and you can always go with somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say actually the same thing about when you go on holiday. It's sort of knowing, there's a lot of people think, oh, they go on holiday and just don't run at all, but we
enjoy it.
that's
treat it as a
part of
training
the
camp.
holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like we use it as a way of exploring, so we'll get up early in the morning, go out for a run,
Yeah.
and sort of set you up for the day, whereas
I think most holidays we've ended up finding a track thanks to
I think when like these were really little, I'd be getting up on my own and going out for a run in the morning, and it's just not quite the same, whereas now it's quite good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be quite motivational as well, because like if you don't feel like running, and you,
Oh, there was times when the alarm's gone off and I thought, oh, should we just leave it this morning?
We'll
It's
be
like,
dragging
no,
you out of bed.
Yeah.
but when you've got you're all into the same thing, it sort of just helps, doesn't it? I guess really.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I think on the low side it is worse when like where I've had loads of injury problems, when I'm still having to go to training to take them and watching the group train, and you're having to sit there watching and going to races that you should be in as well. It's quite depressing. But
Yeah, but at least in a way you're still involved in the sport then, aren't you?
yeah.
It's like you were saying about park run before, going to a park run if someone else is running sometimes, or marshalling or something like that. Just being part of it still, I still think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, can you tell us one thing that you learn from each other that's been a big element in your own running? So, what do you take from each other that you bring into your own running, would you say? And I'll start with yourself, Sophie.
I think it definitely helps having like people around you that know like the same feeling. Luce definitely helps me if I've had a bad race. Like she'll give me tips and like how she would cope with it. I think that definitely helps. It's also nice. My mum, she always gives me motivational speeches before, tries to inspire me.
And Helen?
I think from the girls I've learned, I don't know, how to be a bit more motivated, I suppose, as well, because there's times when I would have thought, oh, I can't be bothered running today, and they sort of inspire me to think, actually, no, I'm going to go out and do a session, because I see on Strava they've run, and think, right, I need to get out and make myself be a bit more motivated.
That's interesting, that. Without even realising it, you probably put a little bit of pressure on each other to do that. You know,
I think
it's
so.
that accountability, isn't it?
Yeah, and
I
I just sort of, I don't know, I think it's really good how they are so motivated as well, and even
like we just love it, don't we? Really.
Yeah.
they even like around diet and things like that. They are so like conscious of like what they're eating and making sure they're eating healthy. And my diet looks pretty bad compared to them. Like, well, I'll be suggesting, should we have a burger? And we're like, no. And I don't know.
Well, literally every day we're really like precise with it, aren't we? We
Yeah.
have like, my dad's really good with it. He started buying us ginger shots every day and turmeric, so it really helps like muscle recovery. So we have them every day.
Yeah.
With him.
I think also because our nanny runs as well, and I'll see that she's been on a run at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I feel a bit bad for not going that early sometimes.
Yeah, because my mum's still running at 71, so she's still doing park runs every week. And
That's good. Can I just jump in there? Do you feel kind of pressure around like diet and things, or is it like just a personal
I feel like
thing? Or
just like eating healthy, I feel like you feel better when you turn up to
Yeah.
a session. You know, you've like ate the right things beforehand.
yeah,
I think I actually prefer it as well. Like, I think the thing you get from it, you know that it's going to help your performance. Like, I'll be very structured on what I have, and every meal kind of has to hit like all like the nutrients. And I know for the session at the night, I'll be fully fueled, because I've struggled with it in the past of trying to get that balance of eating too healthy but not enough. And I think I finally got it right, and I think it does definitely pay off.
I think as long as you're eating enough, it doesn't really matter.
yeah, that's the key thing, isn't it? To make sure you get enough.
I think that's the other thing. It can even be unhealthy, but as long as you're eating enough, that's better than not eating.
I think it is hard though, like with especially the macros where they fall in the day.
Yeah.
Because you tend to have your breakfast and then you think, well, I can't have lunch because I'm doing the race is sort of
Yeah.
around lunchtime. So you end up going for a few hours and then trying to get something in after that. Because I found, Katie and I did the Masters thing, they were talking about protein.
Yeah.
So I'm consciously trying to eat more protein, but
It's
it
hard,
is really
isn't it? It's
hard
hard.
when they say how much you need to eat. And
I find that with like evening races me as well, you know, like a mid-Cheshire 5k, you sort of have your lunch and you think, oh, shall I have lunch later today? And then you've got like a bit of a gap to fill, haven't you? So you want to have something that's not going to be heavy.
yeah, because
But
I've
you're
got
gonna-
training as well, because I can't have a meal before training, so we end up eating pretty late on a Tuesday.
I've started having meals before training now. I have like a yogurt bowl or something before a session, just so I know I've had something, because otherwise you're going to be hungry.
Yeah.
And make sure to eat like straight after we've done exercise to recover.
I mean, I can recommend not having a banana dead close to a session. I tried that earlier this
Yeah.
week, and
That's
not
not
good.
Do you take supplements and things while we're on that?
I take iron, but not really much else.
No, so I'm on,
Yeah.
cod
take
liver
a lot.
oil, and I was taking I started then reading. You read about things and you think, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, or should be. So I was taking them at bedtime, and then I read, oh, you probably shouldn't be taking them at bedtime because it can start stimulating your brain. So I need to switch when I'm doing things a bit. But I was doing magnesium and collagen, but then I sort of a bit hit and miss with things. I'll do it for a while and then stop, and then.
What about you, Luce? Did you?
Yeah, I'm quite consistent with it. I have a lot. Magnesium, sea moss, collagen, D3, B12 and iron.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Every
like-
morning.
My sister was saying the weekend she was Googling about is she taking too many supplements.
They're all the things that are recommended, though,
Yeah.
aren't they, for like repair and recovery? And
It's hard
for
because you
runners.
start reading about
I know.
and you think you could literally take everything.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you think, is there certain things you shouldn't be taking with other
You might
things? And
interact and
Well, you're not meant to take it with dairy as well, so it's like when do you,
and it's like in times of day and
like caffeine and
Yeah.
sometimes
Make sure you-
caffeine inhibits it.
I
Iron
always take
deficiency.
caffeine before races, so that's
yeah.
I think it's difficult. You can get like analysis done, can't you, to see like in your blood, see if you're low or rich in certain things and do it more scientifically like that. But I think generally speaking, there's certain things you need and they're not going to do you any harm to take.
I suppose you should just have a good, which these two do have a really good diet.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a good diet anyway, but
better than mine.
Yeah.
I think vitamin D, I take that as well, because obviously I don't get on with the sun particularly well. So I definitely take that, and especially in winter.
Yeah. I've noticed I don't feel as tired now that I'm taking my supplements as well, because I used to do you know we used to stand up and like you black out? I don't have that anymore.
Oh yeah,
it's a bit concerning.
No, I know what you mean though, when you're like
fuzzy head.
Yeah.
And your eyes go complete.
Yeah, I think you need to go to the doctor.
I think it was iron deficiency, but I've started taking iron.
You had that after London Marathon, didn't you? A couple of years ago.
I just drank
2 o'clock in the morning in Soho. We're all funny.
Don't remember that.
I mentioned like ginger and turmeric shots, but we also have kombucha every day, don't we? Which is meant to be really good for like gut health.
Yeah.
And I think Park of Albion, George Mills, and like I think it's all like the elite ones take it as well, because it's meant to be really good for you.
So is that because we've had the kombucha, the hip hop cans?
They were nice.
They were nice, weren't they?
Yeah, they're meant to be really good, because I used to get really badly bloated before sessions, but I don't get bloated at all anymore. I think it could be from kombucha.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's just finding out what works for you, isn't it? And the balance of,
It's an expensive experiment.
It is, unfortunately.
I mean, some supplements are expensive as well, aren't they? I think collagen's expensive.
Oh,
I think.
it's so,
it's good. It's important though, I think. And so I think again on that masters thing, he was surprised at how few people were taking collagen. As soon as we got home, I was like, right, I've got to get on my collagen.
Creatine is
both. Yeah.
I've heard creatine's not good though for runners.
Yeah, Mike Race said something similar, didn't he?
I think the evidence is. I think there's more evidence now to say that it is.
For masters, it's
definitely for older people.
Collagen's good for over 20, isn't it? Yeah. Because I've started taking that because my mum said to take it. So.
Yeah, I think there's this kind of myth that creatine is. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, but I think from what I've read, there's a myth that creatine is kind of gym, to make you kind of quite buff. But I think the evidence is that it doesn't do that. I've been taking it, I haven't noticed any difference at all.
You're not bulking out.
I'm not similar.
Do you think it helps performance?
Pardon?
Do you think it helps like performance?
I don't know. Again, it's because I started taking collagen at the same time, started taking magnesium.
That helps with like muscle repairing though, doesn't
definitely,
it?
yeah.
Like I'm recovering a lot quicker.
I am. So I had a bit of a kind of a shake up and decided I was going to stop taking all sorts of rubbish, and now I take iron, creatine, collagen, and I do feel, touch wood, better, and I feel like I recover a lot better than I did before.
I recommend like CMOS tablets as well from Helen and Barrett. They're really good.
So what's that for?
I think that actually helps with like recovery.
Does it?
Yeah, that's meant to be pretty much similar to collagen from what I've heard.
Right.
We'll get on that.
That's a new one. I'll have to Google them after.
It's not much stuff though when you go away now. There's like little containers of all sorts.
I know, I must admit, I opened my suitcase before to start getting stuff ready for Berlin. I was like, I need my collagen sachets, iron sachets.
It doesn't help with like TikTok though, that on your page when you're scrolling through and you see all these things recommended.
I think running's supposed to be like a cheap sport.
It's not, is it?
And it's the most expensive sport you can do when you start adding in like.
I think as well, because there's a running boom on, isn't there? So there's a lot of people in on that. So it's difficult to know what's genuine and what is part of that. Trying to make money out of the running boom, so you do need to be careful.
Yeah, I think we've noticed though a difference now, especially like we're saying with Luce, where she's having to do certain races as well. Because you've got the cost then of going to like hotels and all over the country, because where you used to have like just your track league meetings, now it's trying to look at, because like this year she's been over in Germany,
and like next season I think I'm gonna do like a few races on the European circuit, like what was it, the World Challenge
Challenger Series or something. So because where like the Trafford BMC, there was a couple of people came over from a couple of different countries.
That's good, isn't it?
So suddenly it's a really expensive sport.
If you can though, it's good for experience, isn't it? And you travel the world while you're at it, why not?
I think that's where it sort of becomes are you doing it as a hobby or
Yeah,
is it a career? And
Yeah.
then
Well, I want it to be my career. I don't.
Yeah. Do you go to uni at the minute? Sorry,
I
that's
do,
another
yeah.
thing I was going to ask. Yeah.
I recently switched from Leeds Beckett to Manchester Met.
Right.
Because it just didn't really work being away from home, and I felt like it just worked being better with my coach. And yeah.
So you're living at home and just studying
Yeah.
at Manchester. What are you studying?
Sports marketing. So yeah, I did an assignment on, I think it was Keely Hodgkinson and Callum Elson the other day.
Oh, cool.
So it's writing about something I enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I've just started a degree apprenticeship.
Oh, cool.
So that's in town. So I just go and I work 4 days a week, and then I've got uni 1 day a week.
Is that sport related or?
No, it's in project management.
Oh, right. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
Shock to the system working now as well.
Yeah,
as
it's a bit hard turning up to a session after you've been working all day.
Yeah.
a bit different to college hours.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I've lost my chain of thought now.
Sorry,
But
Sean. You don't have any more questions.
we digressed then, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about goals, long-term goals. So yeah, for you individually or and as a family, what do you hope you'll get from running in the years to come? So it sounds like you just touched on that.
Yeah.
In career. So what would you say?
I mean, I'd love it to be my career. I think
Yeah.
that's one thing. If I have a shot at it, I'm gonna do everything I can to try and make it. And I feel like I've got a 10-year window, and like if I try my hardest now and I don't make it, at least I can say I tried. So
Yeah.
I just really want to try, hopefully break 2 in the 8, and I think long-term goals maybe like Olympics and Commonwealths, hopefully. But it's going to be a big ask.
Nice, but yeah, we're going in the right direction, aren't you? With your times,
Hopefully.
yeah, absolutely. And obviously your commitment you spoke about comes across really well.
Yeah.
So you've obviously got a massive following on social media
Yeah.
as well.
I think that's something I speak about before. You've kind of got to create a brand for yourself with running.
Yeah.
It's not all about times. Like with sponsorship nowadays, you've kind of got to. You can run all the times you want, but if you've not got the social media, it doesn't matter. So I think, in terms of career, I think that would be something I'd want to get into.
Seen a lot of athletes do that now, haven't
Yeah.
we? People that have been in the sport for some time now realising that,
Yeah.
doing the YouTube channels and stuff, which is
Yeah.
great for us because we get access to that kind of content.
Yeah, it's quite good sort of looking at the insights
Yeah.
and the YouTube channels
Yeah.
and different
Well, my
Philly
TikTok,
Bowdens and
I kind of based it around my running journey, and it's been
Yeah.
good for like younger girls because they could see I was like the girl that ended up walking at the back of a cross country, and I've kind of like developed and ended up making a GB team. So I bet it's been nice for other people to see.
Do you feel any pressure from social media?
Sometimes, because every race I always make a video about, and people are always asking in my videos, they're like, oh, how did you do at this? And if I've had a bad race, sometimes I don't really want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it is really nice because yeah, it kind of gives me motivation
Yeah.
to do better for my followers, really.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And Sophie, what about yourself and future goals?
I'd hope to make an England team because obviously my mum and Luce have, and then
Yeah.
my dad also did archery, so he had an England vest from that.
GB.
And
Or-
Smiths,
and GB,
yeah.
yeah. So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm the only one now without one, so hopefully I could get one.
Yeah, their dad was training he did archery, so he was training to go to Barcelona and then had a burst lung and then ended up having to give up the sport basically and never quite made it, so it's quite good for him I suppose to see that
Yeah.
Lucy sort of got to where he never did really, I guess.
Yeah, but I think we got a lot of it from our dad as well. He was a very good football player and runner when he was younger. So yeah, I think.
Still now we drag him out on runs with us.
Yeah.
I don't think he always enjoys it.
And would that be on the road? So you'd be on the road, and would it be
Yeah.
longer distances?
I'd hope to do it in like 5k or 10k.
Yeah.
Like I never know in the future, maybe like a half marathon I'd try. Not really sure yet.
Yeah. And Helen, more England Masters vest, perhaps?
Just keep going as long as I can. I think it's quite depressing now when you're turning up to race because in your head you still think you might get a PB one day, but it's sort of looking less and less likely as time goes by. I think because it's getting. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. I think I did my last PBs, and you're thinking it's just trying to. think I'm now, when I'm doing like park runs, I'm looking at my age grade.
That's what I was
so-
going to say, because you still run amazingly well, don't you? When you, if you look at your age grade,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what you have to look
I think
at.
that's the only thing you can sort of keep doing, because that's you're still comparing yourself against 2 other people in the club.
Yeah.
But then you look and you're thinking they're 20 years younger than me. I shouldn't really be bothered about where I'm coming compared to these people. But
You could always go for the Masters world records though.
yeah, that's not happening
Tell you
either.
what, though, the standard.
Not
is,
Claire
It's
Elms
Masters
now is
runners
running
now, yeah.
ridiculous times.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that's
that's
kind of the good thing
Yeah.
about Masters running. It kind of resets every 5 years, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you go into a... Unfortunately, everyone comes with you, don't they?
Yeah.
But it does sort of reset, and you go into that new
you
age
think
category.
they're going to get slower, but then you start looking at the times in
yeah.
the next
Yeah.
banding.
Yeah.
So I think actually vet 35 was easier
Yeah.
than vet 40.
Yeah.
And then suddenly,
Yeah.
it's probably with people moving up as well. But then you seem to have people who've joined running later on in life
Yeah.
who are running ridiculously well. And
And you
Yeah.
think, where they come
Yeah.
from?
They got no injury history.
well,
have
that's the
they?
thing,
No,
yeah, and
yeah.
they've not had years
Right.
No
of
wear and
yeah.
tear.
No miles on the clock, Dave.
I always think, because at the Masters Day they said you've only got so many miles on the clock, didn't
Yeah.
they? And I always think now, I think I'm probably at my limit now.
Yeah.
So,
Well, even with like under 20s versus under 23s, the standard for
Yeah.
under 20s is insane. You've got like Shakira King who's running 2 flat,
Yeah.
and it's just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, lots of good stuff ahead, and we have got our famous quickfire question round. Should we go into this?
Not always quick fire.
It's not always quickfire, but it's so. But well, okay. Let's see. So what I'll do, I'll ask you a question. It is a quickfire answer, but I'll go to each of you once at a time. So we'll start with road, trail, or track. Easy for you, this.
Track.
Trail.
trail.
Okay. Morning or evening workouts?
Evening.
Morning.
Evening.
Long interval or tempo runs?
Interval.
Yeah.
Long.
Tempo.
Yeah, some variation there.
There isn't there?
Hill sprints or flat sprints?
Flat sprints.
Flat sprints.
Hill sprints.
Well, I thought we were going to have a clean sweep there. Recovery runs or rest days?
Recovery runs.
Recovery runs.
Recovery runs.
There we go. Heart rate zone training or pace-based training?
Probably paced.
Pace.
Pace.
Heart rate.
Yeah, but your heart rate varies though, so you can't like.
Controversial. And we've got cross training or focus solely on running?
Running.
Running.
Cross training. I would have said running when I was younger, but
Yeah.
now definitely cross training as you get
Yeah,
older.
I've been forced into cross training.
Yeah.
To love the elliptical.
Yeah.
I think we know the answer to the last
It's easy, this one, isn't it? I could answer this next one for you. Competitive mindset or fun and enjoyment?
Competitive mindset.
Competitive.
Fun and enjoyment.
Give over your competitive.
Try and make it.
Nice
yeah,
try.
fair.
And I think that is all our questions, and that's been brilliant, hasn't it? Yeah. No, thanks for joining us, and yeah, good luck with all your goals for the rest of this year, and obviously going forward in your career and your running journeys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. It's been amazing, that.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, thanks, all of you. It's been brilliant. Thank you.
That's it for this episode. In our next episode, we'll be speaking to a Royton road runner who has completed over 40 marathons with a PB of 3:04. He's completed the 200-mile Ultra Great Britain twice, race across Scotland, a repeat offender of the Spine race, having completed the full 268-mile winter race twice and the summer version once. We'll be speaking to Colin Green, so get those questions in for Colin in the usual ways, and remember, a family that runs together stays together.